Hi. Have you decided the design for your Christmas card this year? Well, it's October and time to start thinking about it. So I've got an idea for you. It's a naturally elegant Christmas card using the Stampin' Up! Encircled in Nature bundle. The Encircled in Nature bundle is part of the online exclusives. I'm Shelley Godby, and for 23 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing lists. So, after I demonstrate for you my naturally elegant Christmas card, stick around because I'm going to show you a stepped up version. Here's a closer view of the Encircled in Nature bundle. This is from the online exclusives. So what that means is you won't find it pictured in any catalog, not the annual catalog or a mini catalog, but in a special category named Online Exclusives in my online store, www.shopwithshelley.com. And so when you order the two of these together, so always look for that bundle, Encircled in Nature bundle, you'll save 10% on both instead of ordering them each separately. And bundled savings can really add up. So look, we have the wreath with images you can put inside. This is a multi-season, and they're much bigger than they look because these are only pictured at 75%. And then the dies, there are so many, they came on 2 cardstock sheets. And instead of leaving them on the cardstock sheets, I store them on these magnet cards that I get from Stampin' Storage, a different company from Stampin' Up, but they have products to beautifully organize your craft area, your craft room, your craft area, oh, your cardstock and ink pads. I mean, just everything, your accessories. And then products to keep you very organized for your stamping supplies. And see, look how strong these are. They aren't going to fall off. And then, and this is big enough, I store them in one of the storage pockets. And so you want to make sure you pick up the storage pockets and not the sleeves. And I've made that mistake. They're for a different purpose. And under the video, I have a link to both the magnet cards and the storage pockets. And so while you're there, check out how you can beautifully organize your craft room. So we're going to start with some embossing and die cutting. I'll be embossing with the Forever Plaid embossing folder. How cool is this? This is from the September through December 2024 Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. Okay, if I say mini catalog again, it'll be the holiday mini catalog when I'm talking about the September through December. And then because it's a naturally elegant Christmas card, I'll also be using the Peaceful Season bundle. Now, this is also from the holiday catalog and stored on a magnet card. And this is available in a bundle. So you've got greetings and sentiments. And look on these dies. Oh my goodness, you have all these fantastic label dies too. And so this will take you well beyond Christmas getting these, but I'm just really pleased with how many different greetings and sentiments. I love when there's a sentiment to go inside as well. So what I need to do is grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we'll do some die cutting. So I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and what I found out is the camera focuses better if I get the handle out of there. And that makes sense because that's the closest and it wants to focus on that and not let you see what I'm doing down here. So we'll start with our embossing with the Forever Plaid embossing folder. So I need to build the appropriate thickness of what's called a sandwich. So we'll start with plate number 1. And then I have my embossing folder. And this, look how big this is. What's so great about this is, and what I have here is some shaded spruce cardstock. Look, so this is 5.5. I can go in either direction. And now for the plaid, that's not maybe as important, but sometimes it is. And with other embossing folders, we were forced to keep it always landscape or portrait, to have it go in the right direction. Not with this. So I'm going to open it up, put in my shaded spruce cardstock. Now I want to keep it straight. I mean, I love that these lines aren't perfectly straight, but if I got it cattywampus, it'd be really obvious. So the hinge goes in first. And what helps you remember that is the Stampin' Up! Logo facing me. Now this is a 3D embossing folder. You get a really deep image. And so they're thicker than the average bear. And so I need to use plate number 4. This is a specialty plate. This is the appropriate thickness. So you'll notice no cutting plate, just the embossing folder with your paper inside. And I'm not going to hurt my plate number 1 because we're not cutting anything. We're only embossing. And then the specialty plate, and this will give us the exact thickness that we need. So we'll crank that through, and I'm coming back just so I can get back into the camera shot. Now, I had a machine where I had to do things twice to get it to cut through, or even more. That's not the case with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It is fabulous. All right, so then let's have a look. Oh, isn't that fantastic, our plaid? Love it. So now I want to switch things up because I'm going to die cut with the thin metal dies. So I could use plate number 1 and plate number 2, but instead I just really prefer using my magnetic platform. And so this is a Sizzix product. The Stampin' Cut Emboss machine is not. So I picked this up on Amazon, and it just makes me a better die cutter. Not a perfect one, but a better one. Now, I do need a cutting plate because we will be die cutting. And right here, I have some cherry cobbler cardstock. And let me grab from our Peaceful Season bundle this Christmas die, and we'll place it on there. The magnet helps hold it in place. Another plate number 3, and then we'll just crank that through. There we go. And it needs to be a little bit tight, right? For the pressure to be able to die cut through. And look at that, it just falls out. I just love my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that is the stamping and die cutting. So now, or embossing and die cutting, I'm sorry. And next we will do our stamping. So we have our embossing and die cutting done, and next we're ready to stamp. So what I have here is basic white thick cardstock. And whenever you stamp on white cardstock, you absolutely want to use the Stampin' Up! Basic White or Basic White Thick cardstock because it has a smooth, tight finish to give you crisp, clean images. And why did I choose the thick? Well, I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals and it'll just be even sturdier. And so let's start with the Pecan Pie Classic Stampin' Pad. I'm going to pick this up, slide it over. So look how big. Remember I told you they were only at 75%? Yeah, this is a big stamp. Whenever my stamp is bigger than my ink pad, I take the ink pad to the stamp. So we'll just get this all good and inked up. And boy, our firm foam pads are wonderful. They just give you fantastic coverage. So a little push here, pull on that and click, and I hear that it's closed. And this is photopolymer clear rubber, so I can see through it to stamp. And then let's press everywhere, so that ink can absorb in and give me a really fantastic image. And look at that. Isn't that awesome? All right, so next I have the Shaded Spruce Classic Stampin' Pad. Oh, look at that. It coordinates with the Shaded Spruce cardstock. That's one fantastic thing about Stampin' Up! Is our color coordination of our color products. It just makes it so appealing to the eye and easy for us crafters to for our products. And so I have this on a Clearmount Block E, and our Clearmount blocks are so comfortable. Look at those grooves on the side, making it comfortable to hold and easy instead of just being flat. So we got that nice and juicy. Oh, let me do a little bit more. Okay. And we'll come in here and stamp. Now you see I caught a little bit over there, but as long as I just go straight up and down, I'm not concerned about catching that. Okay. And then we have another tree. Now this one, if I chose to, it does have an open die to die cut it. But we're going to just stamp it for now. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? All filled in. So again, a little push here, pull on that lip, and click. And so I've got Christmas. Well, I need Merry, and that is from the Peaceful Seasons bundle. All right, so let's go ahead, open this up, do this, Let's get it going. Have it facing me. And then I'll come over here and I'll make sure everything's nice and straight up and down. And we've got Mary. Okay, fantastic. So one more time, little push, click, and that is closed. Okay, so I want to, isn't that adorable? So look, there is another die with this that I could create a background for it. So I could put this against white to make it stand out better, or another color. And but you wouldn't be able to see through it. And I like how my evergreens are coming through. Now this is a really intricate die. And if I tried using my Stampin' Seal, as much as I love it, oh my gracious, I'd have adhesive everywhere. And liquid glue, I have to have more patience, and sometimes I'm a hot mess. So I'm just really preferring these sticky dots. And this is another product I picked up on Amazon. So let me show you. You get 12 sheets in here, and I've got a link under the video. And so this is a protective sheet. Do I have it the right? Oh, here we go. That would help if I had it right side up. I'm going to peel this back, place on my die cut, in this case, the Christmas. Put this down, and then with my bone folder, I'm going to go over this and just really let those sticky dots stick to the die cut. There we go. And then we'll peel it off, and there will be these little tiny dots all over the back of it, but not everywhere else. And I'll get that in the center. And I like this, it just goes off the edge just the tiniest little bit when I get it centered on each side, a little bit of, there we go. All right, I want to, and I don't press until I'm happy. You know what, I'd like to come down just a tad bit. Let's come down a little bit. There we go. And you could pull that into different shapes, couldn't you? Bring that A back together. And there, I'm happy, so I'll just look at that. Isn't that nice? Those sticky dots are just really quite awesome. You know what? That's sticking well. Bring this up just a little bit. There we go. That makes me happy. All right, so then we have our card base, which is shaded spruce. And I tried all kinds of different color combinations, and I ended up preferring the tone on tone, one of my favorite looks. Everything else was just taking away from my focal point. So this is embossed. As much as I love the Stampin' Seal, it's not going to be a great adhesive for something that isn't flat. That is just not flat at all, because that 3D embossing folder, it's a really deep image. So instead, I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. This is meant for the heavier. Now, I could use the mini glue dots. I'm just loving the Stampin' Seal Plus because it's quicker. I can just dispense it. Just roll it right on. And so this is designed to go from top to bottom. And then, and then we do have the stepped up version. And then I have, remember we use some pecan pie cardstock. So again, this isn't flat. My pecan pie is, but this is not. And every once in a while I have to give it a little bit of help, and that's okay. All right. Other times it just rolls and rolls and rolls without any incident. But of course I'm on camera, so that's when it'll do it. All right, so I've got this cut to go from top to bottom as well. And under the video, I have a link to my blog post with this card. So if you click on that link, you'll be able to get all of the measurements to make it easy for you to duplicate, as well as a PDF you can download, print, and save with a picture of the card, the measurements, and the card sketch. All right, so I'm going to attach this with the Stampin' Dimensionals. That's why I wanted the thick, and my favorite adhesive ever. And let's go ahead. And we're going to put one in the center for some more support, even though the thicker cardstock's a little heavier. And so inside, I'll use basic white cardstock for my sentiment and to sign it. And all right, all these look like they're flat. So if I just take my thumbnail and press down, it makes that edge pop up, make it a lot easier to get this off. Okay. That little trick I learned many, many moons ago at a regional seminar. And I thought, oh, worth the price of admission just for that little tip. One of the demos shared with us. So now I want this to be about equal distance from the top and the right and left. And look how easily you can have a naturally elegant Christmas card with the Encircled in Nature bundle. Okay, and so now we're going to do a stepped up version, and we're going to do some die cutting with the Encircled in Nature dies. So I'm back with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the magnetic platform, a plate number 3. And I'm not going to do the Christmas again because I just showed you how to do that. But I'm going to add some dimension to it with these evergreen dies. Okay, in the shaded spruce. And so we'll put that against the stamped trees. Another plate number 3, cutting plate, and crank that through. So I'm excited to show you my stepped up version that just, like I said, adds some dimension and a little bit of little extra, just a little extra. Okay, and so there, the die cutting's done. So let's finish and we'll put it together. So for my stepped up version, instead of using the pecan pie cardstock, I have this strip, isn't that pretty, from the Nest of Winter 12 by 12 designer series paper from the holiday catalog in that shaded spruce. And then you see a little bit of the birds. That just turned out so nice. So now this is even more intricate, not as thick as this. So let's come back with the sticky dots. Peel back this protective sheet. Place my Merry Christmas on, or my Christmas, not the Merry. We stamp that. And our evergreen trees. And back again with the bone folder. Bone folder, wow, I couldn't make cards without it. I use it to get a nice crisp fold after I cut my cardstock, because if not, it's just flopping open. And sometimes you want to stamp right on it. And look how great it is for getting the adhesive on here. Okay, so I didn't have the Mary on there because I need to start with the trees, my die cut trees. So there we go. And I don't know if you can see it, but this has little, no, I don't think so. Little dots all over. And so let's go in between. So I don't want to just totally cover them up, right? I want to go in between, offset that, and look at that. That's just adding some dimension and interest to our card. And come over here and finish that off. Very, very cute. That is one big tree. And so now we can do the Christmas because, you know, the trees ended up going up higher and I need this to be on top. I wouldn't want to put a tree on top. So by now I've done enough that I know just a little bit off the edge there gets me into the center. Let's come, there we go. Boy, you really could just pull that out of shape if you decided you wanted to. Yeah, let's come up here a little bit. There we go. So a little bit off the edge of each one. And then I've got a little embellishment to do after we do the dimensionals again. So with our stepped up, we added some designer series paper, some more die cutting, and then a little bit of bling, which we'll do that in just a moment. And so, hey, it's October, and while I'm just pulling these off, we're having the Kits Collection sale. So you can save up to 30% off, you know, while supplies last, right? And so you'll want to get on over my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And I've done several kits, and I've been using them for fundraisers at my church for youth camp scholarships. And the men are invited, but so far it's just been the ladies, and they just love it. And it started off every once in a while, and now we just get together every month because they love it. All right, so what I have here are I've got to get the right name, cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive back pearls. Now, these have been unavailable, but our inventory report is expecting that there will be more available the week of October 7th. And the same is true for this Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. So more are coming really soon. And so look at this, they're already grouped for us, but instead I'm going to use a single one. And I always press down first to make sure, because these are adhesive back, that the adhesive is actually on the gem and not stuck on my acetate sheet. And we're going to dot our eye. And there we go, our stepped up version, as well as, there we go, we have this, and then the stepped up version of my Naturally Elegant Christmas card with the Encircled in Nature bundle. I'm so glad you joined me. If you'd like to make either or both of my Naturally Elegant Christmas cards with the Encircled in Nature bundle, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now on my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. When you place your October 2024 order of $50 or more with me, I'm going to send you one of my Encircled in Nature cards. And when you bump that order up to 150 more, I'm going to send you one of my stepped up versions. So get on over now to my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching, and God bless.